I'm happy that the Respect for Marriage Act has passed and is expected to be signed by President Biden, because at least it does give us a partial solution should marriage equality be overturned by the Supreme Court. The reason I'm not really celebrating all that much is, in my opinion, the Respect for Marriage Act doesn't respect the LGBTQ plus community or our marriages, our relationships, our families, because it would allow states once again to refuse to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples. And there are more than 30 states in this country that still have on the books their Defense of Marriage Acts or similar laws that define marriages only between one man and one woman. Allowing states to once again tell their citizens, you don't matter, you don't count, you are not the same as your neighbor, as other couples in this state. To me, that is not respect. So while I'm happy we have this as a potential protection should marriage equality be overturned by the Supreme Court, we shouldn't be having this conversation to begin with. We should have a Supreme Court that actually believes in precedent and supports and defends the decisions that have been made in the past. Anytime the Supreme Court affirms rights to a group of Americans that have previously been prevented or denied, how can that be considered wrong? From my perspective, the best solution is to say or to know that Obergefell v. Hodges could never be overturned.
We'll hear argument this morning in case number 14556, Obergefell versus Hodges, and the consolidated cases.
Failing that, I would love to see the Respect for Marriage Act be strengthened to somehow guarantee that regardless of where you live in the United States, that you have the right to get a marriage license in a government office to marry the person you love. When I look at how this bill has taken the form that it has, it's because a lot of Republicans have said, we need religious protection. We need our beliefs to take precedence in the public sphere over any other religious beliefs. Well, that is not religious freedom. This is nothing more than an attempt to use their religion as a weapon against a group of people they don't like and whose families do not look like theirs. Telling us that we do not deserve the same rights under the Constitution that other people in our nation receive. Telling us that we can't allow the word gay to be uttered in a classroom because somehow that will harm children in that classroom, or somehow it will make those children decide they're gay. That's all harmful. It's wrong. And it contributes to the violence that is directed towards our community. You know, the shooting in Colorado, the shooting in Florida, that is encouraged by the harmful rhetoric that so many people engage in when it comes to the queer community. And we can't sit back and say, well, marriage is safe. You know, I've said in the past, I became an accidental activist because of the situation John and I found ourselves in. Never in my life did I dream of or think I would sue the state of Ohio, that I would end up in the Supreme Court. Well, now I'm a purposeful activist. And I will say that the biggest change in me through that experience is understanding that it takes people to make a difference. It takes people who are willing to say, this isn't right, and this is something I'm willing to fight for. This is something I'm willing to stand up for. That can make a huge difference for other people in our nation. It can make the world a better place. But I think until our nation firmly, at all levels of government, embraces we are all human beings, we all deserve the same rights, the same protections, the same dignity, until that happens, we're going to continue these fights.